Here at Hardracing, today we're going to be installing the Sportbikelights dual LED bar headlight conversion. This thing's pretty new to the market. It's, from what we can see, it's major bright, lots of lighting, kind of a off-road military look to it when it's all said and done, but it is for some guys, it isn't for others, but we like it. It looks pretty cool. And the reality is, when you're riding at night, the more light on the road, the better. They're fully adjustable lights, so you don't have to worry about blinding anybody. You just put them on level, just like you would your stock ones, no different. There is no high beam, low beam, they're both on all the time. So your high beam, low beam switch will be null and void. When you turn your bike on, the lights are on. When you turn your bike off, the lights are off. But it's all OEM plug. Looks pretty straightforward, easy install. And we're going to do that now. Alright, so here you have a side plate, one right there and one right there, and then you can see the two light bars, both dual rows. She actually has 4 rows of LEDs. There's the connecting plate there, and there's your OEM wire harness. Relays, everything included, including all the hardware. Pretty straightforward, nothing too fancy. And we'll show you how to put it on.
Hey guys, this is Carrie with Hardracing Performance. Today I'm here to show you the new dual LED headlight conversion kit that we're going to install on our Grom. What we're going to do first is take off the stock headlight, and that all we have to do is remove these 2 bolts here and 2 more bolts on the other side. And that's it. Alright, so now that I've removed the 2 wire harness plugs, that lets you remove the light from the bike.
Alright, so now that you have the little silver wings off, you're going to take these little spacers here and pop them out. That. And put these now facing in that way. I'm going to do that for all 4 of them. Alright, next you're going to take the side plates and this cross piece and assemble them by putting these little tiny screws into the side plate. Alright, now that we got the screws installed, now the next step will be to assemble the headlight, put the bars in there, and screw it together. Alright, now assembling the headlight, you have these 2 black washers, and these are going to go onto the headlight bracket right here and right here. Then you've got a set of 30mm bolts and a set of 40mm bolts. The 30mm bolts, the shorter ones, are going to go on the top holes for the headlight, and the 40mm bolts are going to go in the bottom holes for the headlights. So now you take your side plates, run your wire through there, And you can see it's all OEM, easy fit. And remember your 40 millimeters on the bottom. And your 30 millimeters on top. Don't crank it too tight, just enough so it's snug. Alright, so next you're going to want to remove your stock little wire harness off the back of your headlight, because that's going to get plugged back into your bike. Those are your turn signal plugs. That goes in your wire harness. That's your relay, and that's your headlight bulb. Alright, so next you're going to want to install your stock wire harness and plug it back in, like we did there. And then you're going to take the one that's included, and you'll see here, you're going to run it right along there and up there, and then you'll have this come out. And this you're going to tap into your hot wire for your battery and your ground for your battery, and then that single red wire gets tapped onto your taillight hot wire. Alright, so you run all the extra wires and relays on the side here tucked up out of the way. Run one wire to your hot, one to your negative. This is emergency money just in case. Then you run your trigger wire back here, and you can easily just take a little box cutter, just slice the jacket off. You don't have to cut it off completely, you just need to access the wires for your taillight. And like I said, you'll use this little quick connector, and you'll have the black wire for your taillight, and then the red wire there. And all you do is just press that blade, and it's going to go right through and catch the wire without cutting it, splicing it, ripping it, or anything. And if you ever want to just take it off, you just pop it off, pull the blade out, and just put a little piece of black electric tape on it, and you're good to go. That's pretty much everything in the back. Pretty straightforward. Two wires here, all your relays and whatnot right there, trigger wire to your taillight, and that's it. Alright, so now that we got the back done, we just left this zip tied up so the cable's out of the way. Again, comes through here. It's got a nice protective coating that comes with the jacket. Under there and up front. And then all you have up front will be your headlight plug. It goes into your new LED lights. And this one that goes into your old stock headlight plug. And that's it. And everything else is just bolting up the two LED lights right there, and we'll do that next. Alright, so we plugged in the new wire harness into the plug. This is your headlight plug, OEM plug. Stick it in there. And before you button it up, you just want to make sure it's working. Boom! Bright light. So now we're going to mount those up. Alright, so just take your time, mount one at a time. Comes with 4 stainless screws and washers, one on each side. So you mount the top one, don't crank it down yet, get all the wire harness zip tied, get it out of the way, and then mount up your second one once you have the wire harness and everything back out of the way. And they just slide right into place, and you get enough gap in there that you can tilt them so that the beam is level. And it's pretty sealed up. I mean, obviously, there is a little gap, otherwise you couldn't turn the lights and tilt them. But the reality of it is, if you really are worried about it, you can put get some little industrial foam and put that in there. But I mean, unless you're raining, all the plugs and all the harnesses are upside down, so if water hits it, it's going to drip out. But even with your stock one, I mean, water can get in behind it and hit everything, but that's why they all have those little rubber hoods so that the water didn't run off. But it's nothing really to worry about. I don't see any issue. Again, same thing with the stock one. Water could get underneath, so I don't think these are going to be that much different. But if you're really, really worried about it, just get some little foam, slide it in there. No big deal. But I mean, it looks clean. I think it definitely is going to give it a lot more rugged look. But the biggest thing and most important thing for us is a lot more illumination on the road at night. Cars are going to see you better during the day. You're going to see the road better at night. I mean, let's face it, this is a little bike. So anything you can do to get people to see you better is a good thing. Alright, so we got them all cinched down, hand tight. Again, you don't need to over tighten them. They got little teeth on the back side, so it's going to lock them into position. I mean, overall, this thing's pretty stout. I know it's definitely to each his own whether they like it or not, but I think it looks factory, but it looks beefy, gives it a rugged look. The lights are super bright. And honestly, that's probably the most important thing. But it looks great. It's hard to see on the camera, but it looks awesome in person. And again, it's all factory. I mean, nothing had to be cut. Nothing had to be modified. It all fits up, bolts up OEM. And the reality is, if you're really worried about, getting your bike inspected once a year, 30 minutes. Pull it off, put your stock one on, go get it inspected, put it back. I mean, it's not that big a deal. 30 minutes once a year to have something this cool. If you like it, if it's something you want to get, you should get it. Because it's definitely a unique feature. Definitely sets your bike apart. And it's definitely going to be a lot safer at night, number one. And just in general, day or night, with a lot more light coming out of your bike and people are going to see you. It never hurts to have something that makes your bike a little bit more noticeable when it comes to safety. So, there we go. If you have any more questions or any more information, check out our website at hardracing.com.